Hello, everyone. Welcome to my 88th water review for YouTube. Today is Friday, March 20th, 2020. And oh my goodness, how things have taken a turn for the worst in the world today. I hope you are all staying safe out there, washing your hands and keeping your distance from each other and not getting sick. So, without further ado, we are back to water reviews for this week, and this week I'm doing a international water. This is a Greek water called Zagori, and Zagori started in 1955 and is actually a family-run business. They're in the region of Ioannina in the northwest of Greece, near the island of Corfu, just off the west coast of Greece there. And they were started by, as I said, a family, the father Ioannis and the sons Konstantinos and Alcibiades. And these three started their company, and originally it was a company that created a fizzy juice drink called High J, and it was originally a company called High Juice back in the day. However, in 1988, they changed their name to Zagori when they started sourcing spring water from local springs in the region. And the region that they're in is very hilly. It has a lot of local springs, and they source from two springs in the Mitsikeli Zagorokoria mountain range. Man, these Greek names are really great, but they source their water from this mountain range, and it's well protected from human contact and pollution, and they talk about that on their website. And I was really impressed by Zagori's website. They had every piece of information you could want on the history, on the source of the water, their products, including their CSR initiatives, where they talk about how they fund local Greek school programs for children, as well as they fund charitable work over in Africa, sourcing clean water for African countries and villages. So that was great to see, and I'll link down below Zagori's website if you'd like to check it out for some more information about their company. However, now we'll move on to their bottle design and materials. And the bottle design and materials aren't as great. The plastics for the bottle are really poorly made, really the cheapest plastics possible, as you can tell by the sound here. Really, really cheap plastics for the bottle. The cap is a little better. It's this really nice blue color, and it's a nice soft plastic. However, it is a bit thin and just kind of hard to grab onto. The label itself is a little thin, clear plastic, but again, it's poorly secured to the bottle. It shouldn't get damaged, but it really feels like it could come off at any moment, so not really great in that department either. However, in terms of design, the bottle does make up for that poor quality in the design. It has all these interesting little embossed bits on the bottle itself, and they've embossed the Zagori name into the bottle in both Latin alphabet and Greek alphabet, which is pretty cool. The bottle has this kind of interesting tapered shape to the bottom half, so it's a little easier to grab at the bottom of the bottle. And then they also have Zagori embossed into the top of the cap, which is nice. So really nice little accent designs here and there on the bottle. The label itself has this kind of interesting clear windowed look on the front here where the Zagori name is, and they have kind of a weird paint splotch look behind the logo. It's a little weird, and then they have a strange little Dorito looking thing on the O of Zagori, so kind of a weird logo design there, but still looks quite nice with this kind of light blue, dark blue contrast font. Also on the label itself is a nutrition facts table, which is great to see. And even better, they have all this information on the side here, including a mineral table, as well as some other general information about the water itself, such as its pH, which is 7.7. So really good in that case with general information on the label, but could do a bit better in terms of materials. Now we'll see, how does Zagori Greek still mineral water taste? Now I must note the spout on the top of the bottle is really wide, really easy to pour out of or drink out of. A nice wide spout is excellent. Now, in terms of nose, On the nose, I get this weird kind of vegetation note. I wonder if that's just because it's been in my fridge for a little while and it's kind of the vegetables I have in my fridge have imparted the taste on it, which really isn't that great, and it probably speaks to that cheap plastic they have in the bottle, allowing smells and stuff to come into the water itself. And I'm sure there's other stuff leaching into the water as well with those cheap plastics, but definitely a vegetation note on the nose, but not a whole lot else on the nose. Now, in terms of taste, again, that vegetation note has come off on the taste. It does have kind of a weird plasticky syrupiness to it as well, like I do find with these cheap waters. Not a nice taste at all, kind of a bitter, savory plasticiness to it on the taste. And that weird vegetation note, which I would assume is from sitting in my fridge. Other notes of tastes that I'm getting: a little bit of a metalliciness, which I do like. It does have quite a bit of calcium, so you do get a little chalkiness on the taste and the mouthfeel as well. And maybe a slight saltiness, but very, very slight. Overall, it's a pretty neutral water, other than those weird notes that have come in just from the cheap plastic and sitting in my fridge. So, now that I've given you my full overlook of the water, we will get on to final scores. In terms of company history and interestingness, I was really impressed by Zagori's website. They had lots of information, every piece of information I'm ever looking for and more. So I definitely recommend checking that out in the link in the description. So really no points for taking off there. They get a full 2.5 out of 2.5 points for company history and interestingness. In terms of bottle design and materials, the materials really aren't great, really cheap plastics all around. The label itself is poorly secured. The plastics of the bottle are really cheap and crinkly, and the cap could be a little bit bigger, but definitely the cap is the best part of this bottle. In terms of design though, they do a relatively good job. It really makes up for the poor plastics with this kind of interesting, unique design to the bottle with all these embossed artistic elements here. And the label itself also has a ton of information on it, so that helps it out a bit. They get 1.5 out of 2.5 points for bottle design and materials. In terms of taste and nose, this one's a bit of a mixed bag. The nose is fairly neutral, other than that weird note I'm getting from sitting in my fridge, I would assume, that weird vegetation note. I really did not like that, and it makes me worry about what other flavors and stuff is leaching into this water itself from that cheap thin plastic bottle. The taste itself is fairly neutral again, other than that weird vegetation note. A little bit of metallicness, which I do like, a little bit of chalkiness, which I don't really mind, but overall a fairly neutral taste. So in terms of taste and nose, they get 2.25 out of 4 points. And finally, in terms of value, this I bought from a local Greek restaurant, so it was more expensive at $2. And at that price, it's really hard to justify picking this up over a local water. This really isn't anything special, but it's kind of an interesting company behind it, a little interesting source. So maybe if you want that to really add to the whole Greek experience of your Greek restaurant dining experience, then pick this up. But really, you can probably get a better value in Greece. However, based on what I had to pay for it, I can only really give them a 1/4 out of 1 point for value. Tallying it all up, they get 6.5 out of 10 points. Not bad. Their company history and interestingness really helps them here, and the fact that they have this kind of interesting, unique bottle design. But I hope you all enjoyed my review of this Greek Zagori mineral still water. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below which waters you'd like me to review in the future, or which foods you'd like me to review in the future. I've put out some different reviews over the past 2 weeks, so let me know if you like those and want me to continue with kind of different interesting food and drink products. However, everyone stay safe out there, and I will see you next week for another review. Thank you.